Hey everyone, it's Curtis here, and today I want to discuss why cash could be keeping you poor, and what you should be doing instead of just holding on to your cash. This is a very basic concept that goes way back in time, but it's something that 99% of people actually don't do or pursue in their life. So if you actually want to become wealthy one day, this is a concept that you need to learn and implement today. So when you're holding on to physical cash or putting cash in a low interest savings account, it's actually losing money. Wait, losing money even though I'm saving it? Yeah, it's losing money. Let me explain. Well, I have bad news for you. Cash that's left alone actually loses value. It does not grow, and it's all because of something that we've all experienced, especially just after COVID, inflation. Yes, inflation. So inflation is the rising price of goods and services. We've all seen pictures of McDonald's back in the day where you could get a 15-cent hamburger. Grandma and grandpa go on a date. They could get 2 Cokes for 5 cents a piece. They could go to the movies, get popcorn and dinner, like I said, at McDonald's, and it's all under $1. That same date nowadays would be well over $50, if not $100, depending on the movie theater, depending on what kind of dinner, and etc. So, your purchasing power actually decreases year over year. On average, inflation is around 3 to 3.5%. Before COVID, it was around 3.5%, but since then, especially because of 2022, I think it's around 3.6% historically on average. So that means every year, your cash is actually losing value. If you were to have $100 and put that in a savings account at super low interest or just hold on to the cash, after a year, if I came back on June 2nd, 2024, that $100 would have the same purchasing power as $97. Now stop. Wait, what? $100 today is not $100 next year? And that's actually the case. Now physically, you'll still have a $100 bill or $100 in your savings account. But actually your purchasing power, like I said, just keeps decreasing year over year. And it's around 3.5 to 3.6%. So now you just can't buy as much as what you could in the past. And it's all because you put it in a low interest savings account or just held on to the cash thinking, hey, this is a smart move, but in reality, it's not. So now that we went over kind of the gist of what inflation is, let's get into a bigger example. Let's say your grandma gave you $1,000 or put $1,000 into account in 1975, hoping that one day you'd be able to get into that account and have $1,000 one day. So it's now 2023, and you're going to check and see how much it is. Well, if it was in a low interest savings account this entire time, it is now worth probably around $1,000 still. It's basically $1,000 because it didn't really grow much, and the interest rate is so low that it doesn't affect the dollar amount. Now, most people would say, hey, what's wrong with that? I got $1,000. But in reality, if you would have invested that money, you would have a ton more. So the purchasing power of that $1,000 that your grandma actually put into account for you was worth, in 1975, equivalent purchasing power of $5,638 today. This means that today's price is around 5.64 times higher than the average price in 1975. And according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index, a dollar today only buys 17.7% of what you could buy back then. That's like saying, hey, I'm going to go to Walmart and you can get 5 carts completely full for the same price back then as 1 cart would be worth today. So let's take a look at that $1,000. So you could either have $1,000 over 48 years is now basically $1,000. But what are your other options? Well, to start, I would say let's invest it and get an average return of a conservative 8%. So the average yearly return for, say, like the S&P 500 is around 10%. So 8% is pretty conservative. So we're not going to, estimate huge numbers, but 8% is pretty conservative. So let's just try that example. So after 48 years, if you got a conservative 8% return on the $1,000 that your grandma put back for you in 1975, that is now worth $40,210.57 in 2023. And these numbers are exactly why I say cash is keeping you poor. See, when you invest, your money is actually working for you. So before, when you put the money in an account that has low interest, it's just sitting there, and someone's actually using that money, the bank, to build their own interest at a lot higher percentage. We can invest our own money to get compound interest, which is basically one of the best things in the world, because your investment is getting a return, and then that return is now getting invested into the market, and it just keeps on multiplying, and it gets super fast, and it's like a snowball effect. We need to let our money work for us, not be stingy and just hold it and save it, and we need to let it work for us. And that is one of the biggest things that wealthy people understand and practice every single day. This is, trading our money now and putting it to work for investing. So how do I invest? Well, that's also pretty easily nowadays, and it's readily available for pretty much anybody and everyone. If you have any kind of technology, a phone, a laptop, a computer, applications on your phones, like literally anything, and you can start investing today. And there's different types of investments. Everyone is not going to want to invest in the same thing, but there's individual stocks, crypto, real estate. There's ETFs. So ETFs, I mentioned that because not everyone is going to have the time to research and pick and try to choose individual stocks, keep up with the markets, keep up with every company and business and industry. And so ETFs are really good because there are various different assets within a single ETF. So it's like investing in, for example, 500 different stocks, but it's all under the same ETF. And this just allows you to diversify your risk in your portfolio. So you can decide on an ETF that targets certain industries, companies, literally anything, and you can choose that type of ETF if that's what you think you're interested in, or what you think is a really good future investment. So like I said, how do I do it? You just sign up on the app. You can buy a stock, an ETF, and just let your money work for you. I know when I first started investing in stocks on my own, it was kind of like a little learning curve, trying to figure out the app. Like, what does this mean? How do I use this? Like, it doesn't feel surreal because I'm literally buying and trading stocks. And usually when people think of that, they're thinking of some kind of Wall Street movie from back in the day where people are holding up their stocks and, screaming and yelling. But in reality, it's just an app, and you can just say buy. You have money on your account, you buy, you sell, and that's about it. And the reason why we want to invest is because we don't want to let our money depreciate. We want our money to work for us, so we don't have to work as much. And then it's a great passive income, and we're creating a little nest egg that's just building and building, and it's a snowball effect, like I said. And another cool thing about investing is it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter about any of that, because anyone can invest. It's just up to you to decide what you want to do with your money and what you want your trajectory for your future to look like. All right, guys, that's all I got. I hope you guys get some value from this video. And if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing it. I would appreciate that so much, and also would love to see you guys back again. Until next time, see ya.